I've been surrounded with Barbie my whole life. That's how it goes when you have sisters who like playing with dolls. And I would jump into the stories sometimes too, because they were fun. But the peak of Barbie storytelling and media when I was little was, of course, Barbie movies. I mean, these films are absolutely fantastic at times. I still watch them with my little sister. We watched the new one the day it came out a few weeks ago, so you know we're Barbie fans in this household. So when we see a Barbie PC game at a thrift store, you know we're going to try them out. They're casual and fun, especially because they're so old and hilariously low budget at times. And one of these games that we found is Secret Agent Barbie from 2001. I played through this game years ago when we first got it, and then I never really played it again. So since I remembered it again recently, I thought, of course I'll play it again so you can all know what the game is like. Is an old game made for 10-year-olds worth a play in 2020? Let's go take a look. First, of course, let's talk about the plot. You play as Barbie, obviously, who is a spy, I suppose. They never quite say what exactly she does, but there's no time for backstory when we have to jump into the action to maintain the attention of children. That is the target audience here. She has a giant airship and a friend named Becky who refreshes her on spy skills at the beginning. And it happens just in time, because Barbie's friend Teresa calls her up to say that her fashion show designs got stolen.
Too scandalous.
Barbie goes to check it out, which leads her on a wild chase through lots of different countries to find out who stole the fashions. And then it turns out that someone wants to create clothes that can turn you invisible. Wait, this is starting to sound like the invisible car from Hot Wheels Velocity X. This must be a theme in Mattel games from the early 2000s. This fashion-stealing villain goes by the name of Chameleon, so it should be no surprise that the lady you meet near the beginning named Camille is the villain.
I have a strange feeling about Miss Camille.
But let me tell you a little bit more about her evil plan. She wants to make these invisible clothes so she can steal all the world's treasures. Sure, that's totally reasonable, except for the fact that you just broadcast this information to the whole world. If some treasure goes missing, they're going to know to look for you first. Okay, she's maybe not the smartest villain in the history of Barbie stories. And all the guards in the game are pretty foolish too. Yeah, it's a kid's game, I know. They can't be perfectly realistic. But you'd think that if you puffed makeup in their face to distract them once, they'd stop you the next time you pulled it out of your pocket. But they fall for it every time. On the other side, Barbie herself doesn't always make perfect plans, so it all evens out, I guess. She leaves the final ingredient for the invisible suit out in the open to lure Camille so she can stop her. But that just gives Camille the opportunity to steal it. Bravo, Barbie. Your risky plans don't always turn out well. There's not really much else to say about the story parts of this game. I don't think it's really the highlight of it. After all, the cutscenes are a bit slow to watch through, maybe because they are mostly just listening since no one's face moves, and they take up quite a bit of the game. It took me about 2.5 hours to win the game this time around, and I'm sure the actual action part of that was pretty small. Not to say that it was easy to complete, it actually made me feel dumb at times, truth be told. I played it with my little sister, and she had to keep pointing me in the right direction. Instructions were left out, I didn't realize you had to look at the tiny thing on the floor, and they made it seem like you're supposed to follow someone when you're not. All these things. In conclusion, I think you should play this with another person. It's probably more fun that way regardless, so you can share in the craziness with someone else, but above all else, I think you just need an extra pair of eyes to help you out. You know what was maybe the most entertaining part of the game for me? All of the goofy animations. People's feet sliding around weirdly, waving arms, the fact that Barbie can jump with disregard to physics. And Barbie's not the only one who can do this. Why is this rug floating in the sky? That's not a glitch, as it's a platform to jump on, but there are definitely some weird graphical issues in this game. You can clearly see that the world is just a box with these seams so clearly visible in the sky. The cinematic camera angles were problematic because they made it very difficult to control Barbie at times, and that consequently gave me this weird laser jump scare. The boundary boxes around characters and items made it difficult to get around them sometimes too. But it's fun to go crazy rolling around and jumping over lasers. The translucent suit is funny, and overall, it's a good time. I mean, you get to control a robot puppy, and don't forget the magical pink vision glasses. Barbie even taught me some social skills.
Next, we'll learn how to talk to people. When you stand in front of people, they'll talk to you.
and I felt classy and powerful in my evening gown. It's a short game, and it's simple, but if you can find it for cheap somewhere, you can have a fun night out of it. Replay value isn't really there when you can't change the difficulty or anything, but you can always come back to it a few years later like I did. There's a lot I didn't remember actually. I really only remembered the beginning and end. I mean, come on, of course I remembered the end. It's pretty fantastical. How can you forget it? While some of the locations in the game were filled with stereotypes, I mean, they seem to think that French buildings must be filled with French flags and pictures of the Eiffel Tower. At least they had some good diversity by having a disabled character. Barbie media always throws in at least one thing that's objectively good, right? Good representation, maybe not always the best character. She's a bit wordy at times.
You have to move fast, Barbie. If you want to catch Chameleon, you've got to move fast. Barbie, we're going to have to move faster than ever if we want to catch Chameleon. Hurry, Barbie, hurry!
It's nostalgic, and if you like Barbie stuff, you'll like the game. Just don't expect it to always be so easy. The puzzles, sure. Getting around a corner, not so much. But have fun with it. It's short and light, and sometimes that's all a video game needs to be. I mean, what was the biggest video game of 2020 so far? The Last of Us Part 2? That's all about making you cry, right? Play Secret Agent Barbie instead. It will make you smile. Now, enjoy this song I wrote on the spot based on the intro FMV years ago. And stay groovy, everyone. An airplane falling from the sky, Barbie, she's a hero. She's a hero. She's got a jetpack, parachute thingy, she's a hero. She's a hero, she's got cameras, cameras, cameras. Look at that ponytail.